Stop blaming yourself can sound like a slogan, but I mean it as a practical way to live. Blame is heavy and sticky. It latches onto every memory, slows down every decision, and makes even small mistakes feel like a verdict. Most of us learned early that being hard on ourselves is the same as being responsible. It isn't. Being responsible means responding, making repairs, learning, choosing better next time. Blame is something else. It freezes you in the role of defendant and turns life into a courtroom where the trial never ends. Think about how blame usually shows up. You miss a deadline and immediately rewrite your whole character. I'm lazy. I can't be trusted. You snap at someone you love and your mind jumps to I'm a bad partner. I always ruin things. These leaps feel honest in the moment because they're loud. But loud isn't the same as accurate. If you zoom out even a little, you'll see a messier picture. Sleep you didn't get. Help you didn't feel safe asking for. A calendar stacked with meetings nobody needed. A fight that started before the first word was said. You still have a part to play, that's real. It's just not the only part. A helpful way to think about this is to picture any situation as a stage with many spotlights. When you're in self-blame mode, every spotlight points at you. The scene looks simple. If you were better, this wouldn't have happened. But shift the lights, and other shapes appear. The deadline moved twice. The task wasn't clearly owned. Your dad's text dropped a ton of emotion into your afternoon. The company rewards speed over clarity. Your kid was sick, and you were human. Again, your choices matter, but they live among other forces. Seeing those forces isn't making excuses, it's making sense. One reason blame feels so natural is because it promises control. If it was all your fault, then it can all be fixed by you. That illusion is comforting until it crushes you. When everything is on your shoulders, any slip becomes evidence that you'll never be enough. Responsibility works differently. It says, I can move my piece, and then it looks for the true size of that piece. Sometimes your piece is big, your apology is overdue, your habit needs changing, you need to say no sooner. Sometimes your piece is small. You communicate clearly and then wait, or you protect your sleep, or you ask for help even if your voice shakes. Responsibility chooses action. Blame chooses self-punishment. There's also the quieter truth that shame rarely improves performance. If scolding yourself worked, you'd be perfect by now. What tends to work is clarity and kindness practiced together. Clarity identifies the misstep without turning it into a global judgment. Kindness keeps you in the game long enough to try again. Think of a coach you'd trust. They don't let you off the hook, but they also don't throw your cleats in the trash because you missed a play. They break the moment down, they practice with you, and they expect progress, not magic. Try this in small, ordinary moments. You burn dinner. Instead of, I ruin everything, say exactly what happened. I forgot to set a timer while I answered messages. Then scan for one change. Phone on the counter next time. Use the oven alarm. You disappointed a friend. Instead of, I'm a bad friend, say, I didn't follow through on the plan. I owe them honesty and a new plan I can keep. Then do the repair. Name it, own it, offer something specific. This is not about giving yourself a free pass. It's the opposite. You're stepping out of the courtroom so you can actually do the work. When blame is chronic, it often comes from an old rule you picked up to stay safe. If I'm perfect, I won't be abandoned. Or, if I take all the blame, conflict will end faster. Those rules may have helped once, now mostly drain you. You don't need to fight them head-on with big speeches. Just write a new rule, shorter and kinder, and repeat it until it starts to feel like home. I'm allowed to be learning. I can repair what I break. Effort today is enough. Tape the new rule where your eyes land. Say it out loud even when you don't believe it. Belief often lags behind repetition. Another practical move, let your calendar and your bank account teach you. That sounds cold, but it can be surprisingly freeing. We're great at telling stories about our intentions. We're less great at noticing where our time and money actually go. If you keep saying you're lazy, yet your days are crammed with invisible labor, caregiving, emotional support, errands nobody sees, then your story needs updating. If you keep calling yourself selfish, but you haven't bought yourself a single useful tool in a year, your story is upside down. Replace the label with what the evidence shows. I'm overwhelmed. I'm spread thin. I'm committed but overpromised. From there, better choices become thinkable. In relationships, blame often disguises a different need. You tell yourself you're awful because you forgot an anniversary, but what you actually need is a system, alerts, a shared calendar, a simple ritual you both look forward to. You call yourself toxic because you argued with your sister when you need a boundary about late-night conversations, or a pause word when either of you gets flooded. Self-blame keeps you busy whipping yourself, while the real fixes wait at the door. Forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, can feel like letting yourself off easy. It isn't. It's a commitment to repair without dragging a sack of stones behind you. You don't have to approve of what happened to forgive it. You just have to stop re-sentencing yourself for the same crime every morning. Make the amends you can make, learn the skill you need, set up the reminder, and then, crucially, set down the stones. Tomorrow deserves both your hands. If you lead a team, model this publicly. When something goes wrong, resist the quick hunt for a single person to blame. Ask, what made this outcome likely? You'll find missing checklists, fuzzy ownership, conflicting priorities, and yes, human mistakes. Fix the system and coach the person in that order. People learn more from a clear runway and a steady hand than a memo written in heat. And they learn how to treat themselves by watching how you treat them. On your own, carve out a tiny end-of-day ritual. Name one action you wish you'd done differently, one thing you did well, and one adjustment for tomorrow. Keep it short, 3 lines, then close the laptop. This practice keeps your attention on movement instead of moral verdicts. Over a month, you'll see patterns you can influence. You'll also see that not every dip is a story about your worth. Some days are just heavy. Some weeks are just crowded. This too is information, not accusation. You won't stop blaming yourself overnight. That's fine. You don't need a dramatic conversion. You need a different rhythm. Every time the old script starts, of course I messed it up. I always do. Interrupt it with a factual sentence and a next step. Every time your chest tightens with shame, ask what would make the honest thing easier. More sleep, an earlier start, a clearer request, a friend body doubling with you for an hour. Choose tools, not trials. Here's the heart of it. You are not a case to prosecute. You are a person who is learning. Life gives feedback. You respond. Some days the response is an apology. Some days it's a new boundary. Some days it's a walk to reset your head. Blame wants you to live in the past perfect tense, what you should have done. Responsibility invites you into the present continuous, what you are doing now. So stop blaming yourself, not because you're flawless, but because blame doesn't build the future you want. Notice what happened. Repair what you can, adjust the conditions, and practice the next right thing until it becomes the normal thing. Treat yourself like someone you're responsible for. When you do, you'll find that accountability gets easier, not harder, and the person you're becoming finally has room to breathe.